Hello, I am Tony.
And I am Art.
And we're here from
GardenMastersWithAZ.com.
And today it's all about how to water plants in pots. Because you know what? This comes up because we've seen people making the same mistake over and over and over again. And we want to correct that mistake today so you can water your plants in pots the correct way. So what is that mistake? Well, stay tuned. And by all means, like the video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel for more tips for creating beautiful gardens. So let's talk about watering containers in general. The first thing you need to make sure of is, does the container have a drain hole? If it's a pre-purchased pot, most of them do, but some don't. In fact, we've been at clients' houses where there hasn't been a drain hole and the plants are just drowning in water because there's no drainage. So that's the first thing to make sure of.
So when you purchase a pot that does have the proper drainage, make sure that you put some stone in the bottom.
We always do that.
And a little layer of fabric over top of it, so the soil, the water can leach through the fabric, down through the stone, and exit the pot. Now, I say that because you want the plant to get lots of water. Early in the day is best because you want to get them through that hot part of the day.
Yeah, you want to soak them, and as the day goes on, they dry out more and more as the day goes on. And it's okay for them to dry out. They like drying out as well as being wet.
They can deal with dryness overnight. It's just the sun that is just so powerful that it will kill those little baby feeder roots.
Yeah, and it depends on, of course, the plant, because each plant can tolerate more dryness than others.
So one thing I want to
know your plants.
One thing I want to point out is overwatering is bad too, because it actually rots those little feeder roots. So it's a balancing act, and especially with containers, as you go through the season, there is going to be more and more roots in that container, and more roots means it's taken up more water. Less soil, more roots. Quite often people say it's root bound, but you can still get those plants through to the end of the season.
Yep. Another thing to keep in mind is plants in containers need more frequent watering than plants in the ground. When you have a pot that's sitting outside the ground, it gets heat all around it. It dries out a lot quicker. The ones in the ground, when you water them, the water filters through the soil gradually. It stays wet underneath longer. But pots, not the case.
So, towards the end of the season, you might want to give them a drink of water when you get home. They'll still give, you don't have to soak it like you did in the morning, but just give some revival to the plant.
In fact, if you're having a heat wave like over 100 degrees, like many of us have had this year with hot, sunny, 100-degree temperatures, they need to be watered every single day to stay healthy and growing. And here's an interesting
twice a day.
And here's an interesting fact. When we go away, we set up a timer and a sprinkler to water our pots, and we put them all in sort of the same area so they can get watered. When we come back, those plants are incredible how much they've grown. They're just so lush and full. They loved the sprinkling once a day. Even if it rained while we were away, they still get sprinkled once a day. As long as there's enough drainage, they should be okay.
You got to know your plants. You got to water them early. I want to show you a plant. Last night, we had quite a bit of rain.
Yep.
And we thought that we didn't need to water today.
Yep.
Actually, I was busy. But anyways, look at the results. The New Guinea impatient is like totally wilted down.
It's not dead. It will come back. That's the neat thing about impatiens. They look like this and you water them, they come back within a couple hours, I think.
But you know what the problem is? Take a look. you have all these larger leaves of the...
hyacinth bean.
I can't believe I had a brain fart and didn't think of that, Tony. But anyways, they have shielded the lower area. And another thing, keep in mind, when you have a vine or something in a pot, all of the transpiration of the water is going out of all of these leaves. It takes it from the roots, transpires, therefore you're left with a dry pot. You know, when we go away, we put an automatic sprinkler out here to water these. Geraniums generally like it pretty dry, and they can withstand, you know, they do like to be wet, but at the same time they can dry out.
In between waterings.
In between waterings. Our automatic sprinkler, when we're away, it waters it. It waters it from above. And probably when you're gonna come back from vacation, most of those blooms are gonna be shot. They'll shoot out new ones, trim off the old ones, and new ones will come up. Another thing I want to point out here is these, you got to know your plants. Geraniums generally like, or have dark green leaves. These are lighter in color, and it's saying I need more fertilizer. Keep in mind, with all the pots we're going to show you, every day when you're watering, you're going to water till the water drains out. You know what's going along with it? All its nutrients. You know, it's going to be a limp rag because we all need food.
Including plants. Yes.
To look healthy.
Yes. So this goes into saying, as I've said before, know your plants. Know the ones you have. You don't have to know every single plant, but know the ones you have and what kind of special needs they might need. And then you can learn more as time goes on.
Think about the size of your container, the size of the plant, and larger plants, smaller container, they're going to need more water. By the end of the day, the soil is going to be dry. And that's another thing you can keep an eye on. You can see moist soil over here, dry soil over here. You know, so
can you really see
this
that?
This has some moisture from the rain last night, but this is, see if as I scratch the surface, the top is drying out. So you really got to know, don't overwater. Don't think that everything needs watering. You just got to look at it. Another thing to do is to stick your finger in. I'm sticking my finger in up to my knuckle and it's damp. So I'm only going to give it a little bit of water because, believe it or not, roots will rot.
You have to know the difference between the surface dryness and whether it's wet underneath or dry underneath, because they're two separate things. That's another mistake we see people making. They'll look at the soil and it looks wet, so they don't think the plant needs it, but at 2 inches down, it's totally dry. It looks wet on the top, but not all the way down.
And not in this video, but I'm going to let you know, when a plant dries out, a plant root ball has fibrous roots, very thin, hairy roots. And those roots are the ones that take up the water. Once those die, it's not going to take up the water anymore, and the plant is going to die.
Look at this fern. And this fern, isn't it beautiful? They're over our hot tub.
And most people would say, oh, it's beautiful. It doesn't need a thing. But you need to know how to read your plants. I am first reading this. This is a light green, a pale green. It's telling me it needs water. Have you ever noticed that with your plants? Ferns are very good at showing you. The second thing is, lift your plant. You can tell. Do one thing for me. Water it till it comes out. Water it thoroughly. Lift it. And in your mind, keep in mind how many pounds that plant weighs. When you go to lift it, this one is moderate. It needs water. But if you lift it and it's like feathers, It might be too late.
Yeah, we've been to clients' houses that had ferns.
Did you get that?
Yes. What happened? Did you just not have it hooked up right? Oh my.
I am going to the center of the pot. So you're watering it from up here. When the plant is quite dry, the water is going to run over the end of the pot. The goal is right here in the center of the pot. That is where you want the water to come out of a steady stream.
In other words, the drain hole in the center.
The drain hole. So this is what we want to accomplish, and that is that the water is coming out of the drainage in the bottom. That means the whole pot, all the soil medium, has been moistened. So I kind of look at it and I say, oh, there's that steady stream right here. That is where the drain hole is. You want to soak all of the soil medium to make sure the plant. Like I said again, if you water it and it's just coming over the edges, it's not getting down. So what most people do is they'll just water the pot till they see some water on the top of the pot. And they'll think, okay, it's got water.
That's not enough, right, Art?
I look at the size.
It's not enough.
I look at the size of this plant, and this is larger than me.
Is it?
You know something?
It is.
If I had that much water, I'd be wilting by the end of the day. I would be dehydrated.
Remember when we said in the beginning, what's the most common mistake most people make? Well, it's this: not giving pots enough water. Pots need a lot more water than most people think.
So, we are going to water.
When will you stop? How much is needed? More? Even more?
1 gallon.
Now, if you think this is excessive and seems like overkill, it's not for a plant this size.
Two gallons. Anything coming out the bottom yet, Tony?
Nothing coming out the bottom.
It's starting.
You see, that's what we're waiting for. Once it drains through the drain hole in the pot and comes out in the saucer, we know that it's wet all the way through.
But if we're watering these in the morning, it's not going to hurt to let that saucer fill up. So let it get it through the day. Now mind you, I'm doing this, it's coming out now. If I stop, it's coming out. It'll probably fill that saucer.
It might even overspill it now as it drains through. But this is what you want, because the plant, all the soil has now got moist, but it's going to drain out, but all the soil is moist.
Okay, another part of that is if you've had quite a bit of rain, day after day, if this is full, not much you can do about it. But if you're watering when you don't have rain, you don't want that really day after day, where by the end of the day, it hasn't taken the water up into the plant. Because overwatering can be bad too. But a plant this size, it's okay. Now the plant over here is just getting started. That might be more of a problem, if it's wet day after day, because it's a smaller plant. But then again, these are trees, they'll do it. Now, Tony, go up here. this begonia, if I water this and there is a saucer under there day after day, you might get some wilting of the leaves from it being overwatered. It's just saturated. So the castor bean plant has lots and lots of potential. Now, I have this planted in a pot, and of course pots dry out pretty fast. You know, this plant is growing up, but I tell you, the leaves on here can be the size of an elephant ear, and this plant could grow up to that window and just as wide. So
notice how much water Art gave the pot. I mean, it's actually ponding up on the top, but it's going to soak in and it's going to drain out the bottom. And that's how you know you've given it enough water.
As long as you have drainage. And I just want to say one thing to add to it. If you have saucers under your plants, you can if you have a large plant like this, you can let the saucer fill up. If you have a smaller plant and fill up the saucer, most of the time that water is not going to be taken up in the plant within the next day or two. So I want to say, water the plants like this. Of course, ferns, until it drips out in the center. And then I come back, I turn this to mist. Look at that. You can hardly see that water. Cool down your plants at the end of the day.
Ferns especially love misting.
So I want to say, you need to make your watering easier. And we've adapted over the years. We used to water these plants, these ferns, with a watering can. And it took a lot of in and out of the house to water them. We weren't getting them misted. They were drying out. The water would come over the top. It would get you wet. So we decided we're going to put a Y on our spigot out by the hot tub and have this zone just for watering the porch. We have a solid hose that comes up here, back on the spigot. We have it turned off. When you need to water your plants, you just need to turn that little nozzle so this zone comes on. Have a flexible hose so it shrinks back up into a little pile when you're done, and release the pressure. So this has been, after 16 years of living here, so much easier. Keep in mind, when you have plants on the front porch over here, these Christmas cactus, they don't get as much sunlight, they don't get overhead rain, so a light watering is fine, and quite often I'll just miss these.
As a summary, here are 4 things to remember about watering pots. First, water until it comes out of the drain hole, as we've showed you. 2, bigger plants in bigger pots take more water than smaller plants in smaller pots. Number 3, plants in pots need more water than in-ground plants. And finally, know your plants, which need more water and which need less water. If you have any questions or comments, just let us know in the comments section below. Good luck with all your watering in the future, and happy gardening! You can subscribe to our Gardening Tips newsletter by going to gardenmasterswithaz.com/subscribe, or watch these other top videos on our channel.